Welcome to my channel. I teach the Bible here, and this is a message for the day for Monday, the 6th of March, 2023. And I call it Angels Advance God's Purpose. I'm going to chase the concept and the word of angels around the New Testament for a while and kind of give you some understanding of how angels operate. And I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you get notified every time I put something out. Something comes out every day. And hit the bell, give me thumbs up, make comments, help me get this out to lots and lots of people. I believe an angel, along with the Holy Spirit, prompted me to debate a guy named Kent. And he was a hairdresser in Lemon Grove, California, where I pastored a church for 12 years. And he cut my hair, and I got to know him some, guy about my age, and he happened to be a Jehovah's Witness. And debating him after a while, which I chose to do, seemed kind of fruitless and kind of frustrating. But when he had a personal crisis, guess what he did? He came to me for consolation and a place to talk. And he figured he could trust me, and he could. Why was an angel guiding me to debate him? It's a good question. I want to pick this up and pick up Matthew chapter 2. Following the birth of Jesus, we come to Matthew 2:13 through 19, and I want to read those verses. When they had gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. "Get up," he said, "take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." So he got up, took the child and his mother, and during the night and left for Egypt, where he stayed until the death of Herod. And so was fulfilled what the Lord had said through the prophet, "Out of Egypt I called my son." When Herod realized what had been done, that he had been outwitted by the Magi, he was furious and gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were two years old and under, in accordance with the time he learned from the Magi. Then what was said through the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. A voice is heard in Ramah, weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. In verse 19, after Herod died, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who were trying to take the child's life are dead." I actually read through verse 20. The angel guided Joseph twice, once in verse 13, once in verse 19. Both advanced the purpose of God. First, the angel told Joseph to take Jesus and Mary and get out of Dodge and head for Egypt. Why did he do that? Because Herod was threatened by the infant called the King of the Jews. He was afraid that this kid was going to grow up and knock him off and take his kingship. So he searched for him for the purpose of killing him. And so so that he wouldn't replace him as king. He was trying to make sure he held on to his political power, even with a kid that was under 2 years of age. In fact, when he couldn't find Jesus, he had all male children under 2 years of age in the area executed. All male children. Had them all killed. Jesus was God's purpose, sent to save the world from sin by dying on a cross to make payment for mankind's sin. God would not let Jesus be killed as an infant and skip advancing the purpose of God, the purpose of salvation, by getting Jesus to the age of 33 to die for the sin of the world on the cross, to die for us. So God sent the angel to tell Joseph to move on to Egypt, and he did. The angel was protecting God's purpose in salvation. Angels do stuff like that. Second, the angel told Joseph to bring Jesus back to Israel when Herod died. God's purpose in salvation started with Jesus going to the Jews in his ministry for 3 years in Israel. So he got the angel to tell Joseph to come back as Herod was dead. Come back to Israel. And then Jesus ministered to the Jews for 3 years, died on the cross, was buried, and was raised from the dead, fulfilling God's purpose for him and bringing salvation to us. Angels operate at God's direction to fulfill the purpose of God. They did that for Jesus. They'll operate that way in our lives. So why did God's angel make it possible for me to get to know old Kent 35, 36, 37 years ago? Well, I'll tell you the rest of the story. In 2003, I went back to Lemon Grove to preach for that church at the 40th anniversary of the planting of that church. And at that time, I had been their pastor for 12 years of the life of the church, longer than any of the other guys who'd been there. So they had me come back to preach for that celebration. A lady came up to me after the service, and she said this. She said, "Kent does my hair." And I remembered Kent right away. And she said the following: "He wants you to know that he is a part of a Christian church." And he wanted me to be sure and tell you that. Years after debating Kent, probably 20 years after I started debating Kent, he came to Christ. An angel prompted me to debate him. I think the Holy Spirit was involved in that as well. Thus, advancing God's purpose. That's what angels do. That's one of the things they do. Be open to angels and the Holy Spirit moving you for God's purpose. Angels will do that, and Holy Spirit will do that. Hope you'll pay attention to that and look for the movement of God, even through his angels. Bless you. Have a great day.